Alrighty, good evening, everybody. What's up? So we got 13 people already waiting. Good evening, guys. Welcome, welcome. We're gonna, as always, give everybody here just a minute, and then we'll get started. I'm gonna repeat this a couple times. Kind of still, well, not still. I've actually got a little bit worse, like a lung infection, due to all the pollen and stuff that we've had in the air. So a little short of breath. Still gonna talk a lot as I go to, but might have to turn away from the mic for every here and there. What's up? All right. You guys hear me okay? Mic check. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Grab my other phone here and we'll get started. All right, put that. There it is. What's up, Nick? What's up? A little quiet, but you look spiffy. Oh well, thank you. Yeah, it might be a little bit quiet. I'm trying to incorporate the background tunes right now, so. I don't know if you guys can hear it at all, but. Alright, that looks good. Alrighty, y'all. Good evening. What's up, everybody? There we go. What's up? Wheat will do well, Roshu. Yeah, wheat looks like a big old bull flag right now, so. Ooh. Alright, guys. It's been about 5 minutes, so I'm going to give it about 30 seconds here. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and tag everybody in the Discord once again. If you guys are looking for the YouTube link, what do I think about Hood? I think it'll move up. We're definitely, or more than likely, going to gap down. I can't imagine anything else at the moment. Of course, we have a couple of plays that we're holding right now, including Microsoft and Moderna. Yeah, I haven't seen where we've opened up. So we have a small bounce right now, but yeah, link in the bio if you guys want to join me on live on YouTube. And of course, if you guys have any questions, chart requests, I see your guys' comments right here and I can respond to a few of them, but it's always going to be easier if you guys have them chronologically there. So. Where's the glasses? I don't know. That's a good question. So again, I am. I currently am fighting. I am sick. I probably don't look super. I don't look super sick, but I have a lung infection, pollen and stuff is caught up with me, so a little short of breath. Probably gonna be having to turn my head from the mic here and there, but so I'm not gonna be going for too long tonight. But I'm gonna do my usual thing. So if it sounds like I'm suffocating, I probably am, but that's fine. We'll get through it. I think I'm marking me at 4 people out of puts tomorrow. Yeah, I think market makers could. I mean, we could have a gap down, but I think that we'll likely gap up. I mean, I agree. You know, force people out of puts tomorrow. It's not outside of the question. All right. How do I feel about Neo? I think it has a little bit further to go, but. All right, everybody, let's go ahead. Let's do it. So over the weekend, I know you got a lot of you guys following me on TikTok and stuff like that. But of course, we did have some unfortunate events happen over the weekend, and we'll go over that here in just a second. Rockets, unfortunately, hitting in Iraq. Coming from Iran, possibly, we don't know. I haven't looked into the source as of today. I've been sleeping for most of the day, trying to feel better. Took some medicine as well, but anyway. So of course, Ukraine still under pressure. In fact, about 41 minutes ago, President Zelensky posted another video on YouTube. You guys can check that out. So anyway, last week we had the S&P down 2.84%, NASDAQ 3.64%, and the Russell down 1.07%, and the Dow Jones following as well with 1.89%. Yeah, it is getting minimal coverage, and that's one of the things. So Iran did actually take credit for that. So things are getting dicey here. So anyway, nickel goes up, the LME goes down. One of the top stories this week had to deal with nickel. Let me go double check something real quick. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was right. A commodity which has fetched an outsized economy of attention in the markets this week after the price of the precious metal doubled in its single day and the world's largest metals future and options exchange closed. However, there is one big kicker, and we'll talk about that in just a second. I'm going to go over some other top headlines here really quickly. So the inflation situation has gotten a little bit worse. In recent weeks, we suggested that inflation would get worse as commodity prices continue to rise. In February, the inflation continued to come in hot, 0.8% month over month. That was before Putin sent his soldiers into Ukraine, of course. So we did see those comments from Biden talking about, which of course, you know, without being political, that was not correct. So, but Biden over the weekend, in lighter news, did issue the crypto executive order. Biden administration signed an executive order which directs federal agencies to coordinate approaches, including regulations, research into its impact, and the potential development of its digital dollar for the crypto industry. So interesting stuff there. Now, one thing that I am not seeing on these headlines specifically is that rocket launch from Iran into Iraq. I'm not seeing that. And so we'll see if that has any effect going into this week. As far as economic data is concerned, starting on March 15th, so Monday, obviously, we've got nothing, so nothing is good. As far as economic data points, what's up, Starboy? We have PPI, core PPI. Every time I say PPI, I think about the way that I remembered how to spell Mississippi when I was a child, because I couldn't spell it, but I could sing it, which I think most people do. I think that's like a everybody thing. So anyway, we've got that coming in. Empire State Manufacturing. This week in general, we do have quite a bit of data, but we do have March 16th, export prices, import prices, business inventories, EAI crude inventories, FOMC rate decision. Okay, high impact, super impact. So March 16th, write that down, set your alarms so that you're not swinging into that weekend with anything crazy. Powell does speak, I think, on Tuesday, yes. We have also the FOMC decision rate, NAHB Housing Market Index. March 17, housing starts, building permits, continued claims, initial claims, Philadelphia Fed Index, industrial production, capacity utilization, and existing home sales. Those of you guys who want to make sure you have this website, this is www.3Ws. You guys know that. Briefing.com. Briefing.com. And I will, if you guys want, I'm going to copy and paste that and then tweet it. So if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, go do that and then retweet it if you know somebody else who could use this. So. There you go. Yeah, no problem, homie. Yeah, retweet that, dude. BRB. All right. I've been collecting puts for the 18th for months. Should be a fun week. Nice. So you mean you've been selling puts? Are we going to talk about AMC in 2022? We'll talk about it when it happens. Is my mic okay right now, guys? Let me turn off that mic in auxiliary. That might help. Please no CCI. I mean, it's got some grip. Yes. I couldn't get my Tesla truck, so I just got a mini one. My mini Tesla. So better here now. Perfect. Okay. Again, link in the bio if you guys want to check out the YouTube video where I'm live right now. So anyway, other than that, those top headlines there, of course, I think that's about it. I'm kind of skipping over some things that are not really worth reading. I will say, and I really don't feel like it's even worth reading, but they are putting out articles saying Russia is showing signs of willingness for diplomatic negotiations. They've been saying that for weeks. I don't believe that. So, anyway, let's talk about. Love the mini. Thank you. Appreciate that. I've been trading for 20 years and never seen this level of corruption and manipulation. This is a really interesting market to be trading in. Makes you feel crazy. But hopefully, maybe our generation does something about it. But one second, guys. Grabbing my notes. By the way, those of you guys, if you don't have planners or if you're trying to write down your stuff, again, I recommend the Moleskine mini books right there. Yeah, that's what they pump. They'll pump the market on that type of news. So, okay. So as far as my watch list is concerned, and we're gonna go over SPY. I'm just gonna read over my watch list. I'll go over the charts here in just a second. My watch list, for the most part, is staying the same. We're gonna be watching Facebook. We do have a we don't have a position on Facebook, but we will be watching Facebook going into this week. One position that we do have right now is we have Microsoft. So we did take Microsoft puts. Now, mind you guys, one of my main things is don't short support, and we're heading directly towards support. And one of the reasons why that I obviously a good reason to not short support, um, is you're going to bounce. Um, but excuse me, guys. Sorry, I'm a little disoriented here. I'm looking at Facebook. So Facebook right now is approaching support, but has the rest of its gap to fill to 277.60. If we gap down at that price, I will take profit. Currently, we are up 21% on Microsoft. So we have 275 March 18th puts, and if we fall to 277 or even to 275 on a gap down, I am out. So mRNA. So I have been seeing bullish talk on mRNA, and we're going to go over this chart here in a second. But this one did show that rejection there. We're currently up 18% on March 18th, 135 puts, looking to get out of those as well, around 135 even. So volatility is good. Trend is your friend, of course. All right. So also keeping bullishly, I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on UUU. Unfortunately, this one did build up for us on what looked to be a potential flag. I'm not like overly bullish on flags. This is only the third tap of resistance, our second tap, excuse me. So we could see a retest, which is fine, of 925. So UUU looking for a bounce, 928, 925 for a potential reversal and break to the upside. Looking for $11 on UUU, holding long calls on that one. All right, so Kroger is also on the watch list as well. This one just really kind of looking like it might retest, could give us a double bottom, but looking really weak and looking like it may give us that 54.60. Kind of moves like a dinosaur. We've seen that, but it did give us that rejection. I know a lot of you guys are still holding, so I will be watching Kroger as well. How's the book on YouTube? Putin said he doesn't want diplomacy. See, that's the thing, is you have yes articles, you have no articles, and that's one of the reasons why I said I didn't even want to read it. It's just not even worth reading. Roku turned on me. Media's pushing Deltacron. I think I might have that right now. It might be Deltacron. All right. Oh, last one. Snapchat. Can't forget Snapchat. So Snapchat, currently again at support, just like Microsoft. Either we gapped down and we see ourselves down to 2765. There is a gap. I would say a really great target for those of you trading weeklies. If we catch a flush, look. And why am I giving you this target? I'll show you. Look right there. That is it. That is the only reason why. You could go back. There's also a lack of volume. What is going on there? There you go. So right there, that's 28.16. Right. So Putin is saying that he thinks Ukraine is moving closer to his terms now that he's willing to move. Yeah, another great reason why I shouldn't even read that, but again, it's one of those things where you have to acknowledge what the media is pushing, regardless if you agree with it, because you can feel how you want, but you have to acknowledge what the sentiment is. That's one of the reasons why I try and share those things. Look at that bearishness right there. I think we're going to see 41.50 here with a quickness. Tom Brady is coming back this year. Oh, this is actually a robe. Thoughts on Tesla? I'm going to take your guys' charting request. Those of you guys here on TikTok, if you guys will do me a favor, tap your screen a little bit, leave a couple likes. It does help share the thing or reshare it. Or if you guys want to, if you're going to leave a request, it is best going to be if I keep missing it, drop it in the YouTube channel chat. So wheat broke its falling wedge. That's it's not good. Wow, you guys bumped the likes up big time. Yo, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Those of you guys on YouTube, if you guys are digging the stream, make sure to leave a like. It does help as well. All right, guys. So you guys have my watch list. I want to just really quickly, before anybody asks me, because they're going to, and I really feel like I should be doing this anyway. Let's look at SPY, right? Super important, super relevant to everybody. So let's go ahead and look at it. Obviously, last week finishing with a full engulfment. I will also mention lower time frame pennant. Okay, take a look at that. It's a bearish pennant. Looking like we're gonna go and fill this gap, right? There's a remainder of a gap. The price closed at 416 and opened up at 425. So there is the remainder of a gap to fill. You can see sitting on that pivot point of 419.40. So we're looking for 415.60. And if we fall, 412, 411.95. Target gap downside. Yes, loving the gap. Whereas Ellie, Ellie is night night. She is night night, or she's yelling about night night. She probably just heard me say her name, and she's like, "Ooh." Thank you guys for the follows on Twitter. I appreciate that. I see a lot of you guys. Stevo, Marcade, Excalibur, Switch. Appreciate the follows, guys. Showmaster, thank you for the retweet. Thank you guys for retweeting that stuff. I really appreciate that. Want a day trade after this. Gonna join your Discord, swinging for 2 months, swinging a lot. When you join the Discord, man, check out Top Shelf, man. He's and I'm gonna start making more content on the other admins because I know a lot of people think I'm good at analysis, but man, these each one of us, especially these guys, Top Shelf, Manny, Atlas, uh, Heck, Big Stepper, all of them. Plunger, they're all giving really, really great analysis. Top Shelf in particular is doing long swings and he's looking at long analysis. He's been playing energy and oil and ripping 100% plays over and over. So Tom Brady attempted to save SPY. Manny gets out. And, yeah, so each one of us has our own style. Um, I have ADHD. And Top Shelf's a swinger. Manny's in and out quick. All of the ways I'm describing this are not technical and now sound a little suspect. But yeah, big stepper, scalper, so etc. etc. He fast, you mid, Top Shelf long. Damn, bro, you just inadvertently assaulted me, man. I'm just kidding. I'm not mid, man. I'm Top Shelf. I get it though. That was if you didn't mean that pun, that was a really good pun. All right. So anyway, the S&P guys looking bearish. Look, I will also throw one last thing because when everybody's looking at one direction, where can market makers take it to cause a big move in the opposite direction? There is a resistance floating up around, and you can kind of see it right here coming from the top. Make it drop. I can't help myself. Sorry. Um, but this is around 436, 437. There was a gap up above us, but that is not targetable at the moment whatsoever. There's even gaps all the way up at 446. So nothing doing right now as far as review, kind of helping this downtrend. I think them downplaying the news on Iran, Iran is makes things even worse. But anyway, looking for SPY around 411.50. But possibly gap down to that 415. So, QQQ, which of course has been taking a little bit of a more dynamic beating, if you will. Still same setup, but mind you, this one has seen. Hey, what's up, everybody? Debating who to join. Yeah, our our website is open right now, and you guys can try the free trial. You do have to use your card, but there is a website, and as you're signing up, you need to copy and paste that website. That's the website you're going to use to manage your. But just cancel it before you're done, or before you get charged, and that way you can. And if it does charge you, I'll refund you. Obviously within a reasonable amount of time. Yeah, you can just try it out, see if you like it. If you don't like it, don't use it. Don't buy tools you can't use. Or if you're not ready, again, don't buy stuff you can't use. So QQQ. This one, you've got a pretty straightforward support here at 320. I don't really think that. I think everybody knows that. It's right there. That's likely where we're either A, going to gap down if we gap down, or B, if we continue to move to the downside. I will say there is a part of me that is looking at this as a potential like lower low and then running this up for what could be a triangle, but that just doesn't look right. Doesn't feel right either. So anyway, this one, big rejection, big pull down. I'm still looking at this one to continue or to gap down or continue to the downside. So that being said, if we do gap down, expect a bounce. So if you did swing puts, hedge yourself or just cut and be happy with the profits. This week, guys, and really this should be every week, but this week we're going to be taking profits before you start trading this week, and all of these things are running through your heads and all of these things are happening. Set up a plan. Where are you going to TP? Not even on the chart, but like what's good for you? What's a good day? Where are you going to start trimming off all of your exposure because you've hit your goal, and now you can let a few run, monitor them. When they run themselves dry or whatever the case may be, you cut them. But we're going to really, really focus on taking profit, not over trading, and then really, really capitalizing on the moves caused by catalyst. When we get the catalyst, we're going to trade the catalyst. If we swing trade this week, we're going to hedge ourselves. Why? Because we have a lot of economic data. We have a lot of stuff going on in the market, in the world, everywhere. Supply chains, all of it. Oil, gas, uranium, everything, all of it. Toilet paper. I'm surprised that grocery stores are freaking empty. But did you see Zoom die? I may have. Thank you, guys. Link in the bio if you guys have a comment, question, chart request. I'm about to go ahead and start going over charts after I cover the Qs. Or I'm actually done covering the Qs. So anyway, target on the Qs obviously is a low of around 319, possibly even this low of 318.50. So PotterStocks, where are my glasses? Not here. Somewhere. Figured I'd freak you guys out a little bit. I can't see this screen, if that tells you anything. That's why that's one of the reasons why I have another phone right here so that I can. But anywhere outside of this section, your boy is blind. All right, guys, that's it. Major ETFs. So if you guys have any requests, I'm gonna go ahead and scroll up. And I'm going to be answering questions. If you guys have questions, please answer your own questions. Everybody leave. No, if you have questions, please ask me so that way I can help you guys. There are no stupid questions. If you guys need to even join the Discord to ask me a question while we're doing this because you don't want me to say your name or you don't want people to see you ask this question, that's okay. Do what you got to do, but don't take advantage of this opportunity to learn. I'm a little out of breath right now, so I'm probably going to run for another 30 or 40 minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and call it a night, get some rest, and we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning around 8:30. Do I use fibs to chart? Occasionally, yes, I do. If you want Any information or education on fibs that is in our Discord, the link is in the bio for whomever. But in the educational part, Manny has posted his breakdown video on fibs, so make sure to go check that out. All right. GGPM merger announced. Volvo Equity Link Security merger date, and Volvo owns 49.5% in shares, also 1.05 billion in share funding at merger date. Okay. That's interesting. Take a look at that. Is this not a pity? Gore's Guggenheim? I've heard of this before. I have. I don't know when or where. Well, that wick right there that you just experienced, it could be market related, but that's obviously a downtrend. So you may be going back for a retest. I don't know if there's any events or catalysts coming up soon. Let's go check the 4 hour really quick. All right, so we'll call that support, but we'll also acknowledge this potential dynamic one, and that's going to also have a confluence at 1060. So if you're looking at GGPI, there's a key level and supply at 1060. So that might be where you could be looking for a bounce and a play up to the upside for at least a retest of around 1130. So number one piece of advice for setting up charts section on Thinkorswim. Keep it clean and set alerts. I know the alert systems are a little bit different, but other than that, I mean, just I usually have 4 on a screen when I use TOS. So, what do you write down in my stock journal? My stock journal is sporadic, so I can go from personally reflecting on a meeting that I had with somebody and just writing down what I've learned, or just recapping on a really crazy day, if I have to do it that way. A lot of the times I'm writing my watch list, I'm writing my reasoning, I'm writing my contracts, and writing my goal, so that it's all on paper. Putting it out there, and I think this goes for any human being, but when you think in your head, this is what I want to do, and then you write it down in front of you, that's the first step to making it real. That's the first step to actually getting there. And it sounds silly, but it is. It's there in front of you to read, to go back to remember. So whatever it is that you're dealing with, you can always have the center, right? And I use that metaphor, a center, as you spin around, but you need to have that center that that keeps you from going off balance and blowing your account. So anyway, I feel bearish until Wednesday. Writing makes it real. Yeah. So even if you just sucked that day, write it down. I sucked. I could get better. I'm going to get better immediately. Not just kidding. Not immediately, but snazzy fit. What indicators do I use? So I use volume always. I always use a light cloud. Right click over that cloud. Hit settings. Go to appearance. You can add a watermark, or excuse me, this is chart settings. You're gonna click on the volume cog right there. Style, put a MA. That's a volume moving average. Is exactly what it sounds like. And so anyway, that's gonna help you recognize breakout volume. I use occasionally pivot points. I use the EMA system, 20, 50, and 200 EMA on all different time frames. I use the whole suite ribbon indicator by In Silico. This is 2 HMA moving averages combined with basically like MACD. We'll leave it at that. We've got a 9-day moving average, pivot points. I use the traditionals. But I also, not on this chart, but I also use the fib extensions and retracements if I feel like something's off, or I really want to double check and I'm looking for confluences where multiple indicators agree on one thing. And when you find that, that's usually going to be a serious point. BB bands come in every once in a while. VWAP if I'm day trading or scalping.
Very rarely. 500 HMA. This one is a useful indicator for long-term trends for me. Gap identifier, obviously, exactly what it sounds like, finds unfilled gaps amongst the market. So I use the MACD here, our TTM squeeze here, and I use the RSI as well. My head hurts. So let me make it very clear. I trade multiple different ways, right? I try and be fluid with the market. It obviously in my position is a good thing to do. So my indicators are not all functioning at once, nor am I paying attention to all of them at once. I'm using them to find a confluence and then I'm marking it, right? So say I see a pivot point here at $11 on GGPI and the point of control, and I see supply and demand. All right, I'm going to mark it. I'm going to set an alert on it because I know when it breaks, it's something that I need to pay attention to. So a lot of the times, indicators are just tools to sniff out those places that you need to really pay close attention. So, what am I wearing? I don't know, Chief Keef. What am I wearing? Do you guys still have an echo for me? Look at emerge with Polestar by July. Okay, that's cool. I might throw a couple shares in that. Does TradingView draw your levels for you? I draw my levels. It can draw. So these are obviously pivot points. But yeah. So you guys want a chart on Snapchat, and if you guys don't mind, I'm just keeping ES right there, so that way we have that to look at. So features are looking bad. Yeah, features not looking good. I love it. I'll show you. Sorry, a little creepy there. All right, so I'll just keep this one really clear. Snapchat, gonna delete these really quick just so I can recap for you. You've got a head and shoulders breakdown into a gap. Beautiful breakdown. We caught this snap play around here. Got a bounce off S1, a rejection. And guys, this is if you break at the ceiling, if you break a level and you're playing it down, you should why it is more important to identify where it is going to more than likely get a bounce. Because guess what? This play happens 2 times. And what did we do with Snapchat? We played it twice. Some of you guys did. Running a little short here on the oxygen here. Excuse me. So anyway, Snapchat, just to be clear, levels 2818. You guys can see that by the first initial bounce. This is our third bounce. Now, overall, the lower time frame head and shoulders gives us a higher time frame H pattern with a gap to fill to the downside all the way to 2577. So what can you do about that? Well, if we break down to 2740 or we break down to $28 and we bounce and we hit $30 again for a retest, you could go long, speculatively, longer, a month or something, and select that $25 price target, or go right outside of the money, whatever suits your account, and then day trade it all the way back down. So Snap has a great setup, and that's one of the reasons why it is on the watch list this week. So sometimes reality and facts collide, and it may cause color blindness. I don't really know what to think of that. Is We Will Find as a starter? Yes, I have a link in the Discord in our step by step that you can use so that you get your stocks. I haven't even checked mine in a minute, so I haven't got nothing. 2814. That's my Snapchat levels. Anyway, if we do double bottom, because I think we're gonna gap down. If we double bottom, watch the gap to the upside 3377. That's it. Okay. I'm looking for a gap down. If we don't get it and we hold our ground, all right, then catch me outside. How about that? How's the family? Kids are doing really, really good. Let's see here. Can we check on Amazon? Yes. All right, so that's Snapchat right now. I see CCL. Yeah, squeeze indicator. Did I go over SPY? Yes, I did. It is on the YouTube right now. You can go and recap it. If you guys are on TikTok, make sure to leave a like. Those of you guys on YouTube, there's 68 of you guys watching. There's only 25 likes. There's actually 69 of you guys watching. Never mind. You guys are good. So CCL right now rejected its pivot point. We love that. Okay, we love that. Why do we love that? I'll show you why we love that. Also, CCL, I already have this thing charted. Oh my God. I just remembered my whole, I'm sorry, I just freaked out. I wish I could edit that out. Yo, who remembers the CCL breakdown a couple of weeks ago and I didn't watch it? Damn. Big old bear flag. And what did we say about standard deviation channels? So I'm gonna give, because I'm so confident in standard deviation channels, $14 is my PT. Not only is $14 my PT, I believe. Let's see here. Hold on one second. So we'll be nice and we'll say 14.25, right? Oh, that's money. Yeah, absolutely. So go back here, guys. Look at this small channel, right? Mark that level, 14.25. Bop, 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 right? So that's obviously a key level. Also, got a pivot point there, near there. So that's likely to stay in that same range. There's a gap to the downside. I am right now clear. Yeah, very clear double top as well. I'm looking at the higher time frame. Also, the double top off the standard deviation channel. But this is beautiful. This is charting like just TA amazingness, because I love standard deviation channels, because what can you do with the standard deviation channel? You can take it and literally throw one up on top of it, right? Once it breaks out of that deviation channel, you can go and throw it back up, right? Here, boom. And then I throw another one up there, and you know where this one is rejecting? The standard deviation line. So love these standard deviation channels. Good. Woo! The Greek ships immediately in the way of Ukrainian and Russian territorial waters and Black Sea and Turkey shares of maritime borders. Well, oh shit. This is a road, but yes, it is Keith Harrington. Yo, 75 of you guys here on YouTube. Thank you guys. That's awesome. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on the YouTube channel. So anyway, gap to the downside. So that's what we're gonna write down. I'm gonna verbalize what I'm writing down right now, so you guys know what I'm writing down. So we've got CCL, okay, gap, downside gap. So I'm just gonna write downside gap. And that starts at 16.75, 74. Now we're looking at the technicals. We're gonna talk about the logistics on it as well. What can't they? Here, I'll just make it really quick. What can't CCL do during war? Oh wait, 16.25 gap fill, and then we have a 14.25 long or short, right? Target, and I'm abbreviating, and I'm putting standard. So I put standard dev or stand dev. So stand dev. And so that's looking really good. And there it is right there. I write like a complete Kraken. So I do not have good handwriting at all. I'm good at trades, but not at writing. I'm not. Calligraphy is at an all-time low. Puts on calligraphy and just proper handwriting etiquette. Okay. So anyway, CCL gap to the downside. I'm putting a 14.25 price target on that one. So, and again, think about the climate. So, um, do I usually use the web app or the desktop app? So I've been using the web app for a while because when I used the desktop app, it just wasn't working for me. I just didn't like it. So how do I get the cloud indicator? So you're gonna need to go to TradingView or Google TradingView. What is it? TradingView in silico. So INSILICO, I think it is. It's right there actually. Yeah, INSILICO. I can't share the script for some reason, but you can go download it for yourself there. So, do I look at the Greeks? Absolutely. Yes, the Greeks are important to me. So, real quick, what are the S1, S2, all of these? So, resistance, right? Resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. These are essentially finding, and this is also where volume profile, right? It's marking out places of high volatility. Why would a double top on CCL be a high volume, right? That's where rejections happen, at where there is a lot of trading, because if the trend is up and then it starts selling, you get people trying to buy the dip, you get people trying to sell, you get the back and forth, lots of shares flying, and then eventually someone wins the trend. And obviously CCL, you lost to the Bears, and clearly this one looks like it might do that again. So for me, 1470 or 1675, would have that breaking to the downside, and then you can see S1, which is support one, and then support two. That's again same thing. The pivot point usually is the nearest, and in this case, the pivot point is just like the price that the stock likes to trade at a lot, right? Or bounce at or reject at, right? So looking at that pivot point, why? You've got 1, 2, 3, the initial drop down. 4, where did you break out past? 5, where did you retest? 6, 7, break down, retest underneath. 8, I'm sure if you go back and you look at that level there, look at that bounce. So that's kind of how that works. You often say that new traders shouldn't trade weeklies. Why? And also considering contract prices being more expensive with more expiration. So with more expiration, right, you're going to be more expensive. Guys, try it out. Try it out. Don't be scared to go out 2 weeks and pay more money. Why? Because those contracts on a pullback might lose 5%, where your weekly contract's going to lose 25%. And that problem that you may have with greed doesn't stop because you know and realize how volatile your contract is. It still is it's going to cause you to hold, because the investment, the potential return on investment, whether it's in your head or realistic in itself, is not always achievable with a weekly contract that is losing money. So you're buying an asset, if you want to look at it that way, that is already bleeding money. And with that being said, if you don't have hotkeys set up, or you don't, or you're not trained your fingers and you're only trading a handful of stocks, so you're not all spread open, weeklies are just a great way to bleed yourself dry. If you pick a target on the 4 hour, if you look at the weekly, you know the feel of the stock, right? You've already read a headline. Okay, Kroger's doing this thing. All right, let me go look at Kroger stock. I think this might move the stock. All right, go look at Kroger. Boom, boom, boom. Um, uh, sorry. You see that setup, and like I said, okay, CCL, $14. Let's say I go ahead and it may be more expensive, maybe it's $200 to go out till, and again, I wouldn't do this because CCL isn't, it's worth it for me to go a little bit shorter on this one. Obviously it's going to move to that, it moves really well. I wouldn't be really relatively concerned with going that long on this. But with things like Moderna or Facebook or Microsoft, if you pick out a target, right? So you see a double top here and you're aiming for 19. That contract is going to move nice and steady. And what that is if you were just to look at these as day trading, right? There's no difference between the 5 and the 4. Like it's like if I was to just put 5 minutes right here, nobody would be able to tell me that any different, right? You might be able to say, wow, like some of these are a little bit wicky, but otherwise you wouldn't really be able to tell. So you're just adjusting, right? If that's the case, you're just adjusting your contract to the time frame. So that way the bounces that always happen, the rejections that always happen, right? Say you short this double top, but you know damn well that it when it flushed, it never retested. Guys, stocks always retest, right? It's like a hey, last chance to buy this stock here. Anybody want to buy? No? Oh, all right, fine. And then we dip, right? We go back down. And that's how I look at it. I look at it as an auction in my mind. I have a weird brain, but I look at it as an auction at each level. It's like, hey, anybody want 2150, 21, like, nope, okay, cool, take it back down, That's the way I look at it. But hopefully that answers your questions um without my uh excess explanations. Do I recommend leaps? Yes. I prefer scalping. Does the Discord give out live ideas? Yes. Manny scalps live. Big Stepper types live. He's. We're gonna get him on the big. We're gonna get him on the big screen. We're gonna like go up to New York and physically go and get him. But we'll get him online more. But he's on every once in a while. He's been on a few times. But he's mostly typing out his scalps. But yes, we do the yeah. Yeah, we do. So I better hedge my 318 CCL 18 put. 318? Nah, I can't. Nah. You don't want to hedge the 18th, man. You're good. Where do I generally get my news from? Benzinga Pro is where I get the majority of my live news from. I do listen to the Squawk Box on there. And the option alerts, which just tells me that there's like specific, people are looking. I hardly ever listen to them, like, or look into them, but occasionally I do. And then I usually read the stock Twips daily rip. So if you guys don't want to hear my voice in the morning or at night, you can go and go to Stock Twits. Speaking of, I skipped earnings this week. What's wrong with me? What's wrong? What have I done? That's how you post to. So you can, if you're trading. Yeah. So day young. That's actually how. That's a great way to put it. When I'm looking at level 2, that's the same way that I'm seeing it. Right. Bid the ask. It's a bid. It's an ask. We're You guys like it here? No. How about here? Yes. All right. Run it up. It's just a simplified way to look at it. So, um, all right, so going through your charts. I know some of you guys are like, quit talking, dude. We've heard it a million times. All right, MU. So MU guys, along with every single other stock in this bracket, has gotten absolutely clobbered. It's clobbering time. 96.87. was a mutual point. Now, I don't really see this, right? Like when I go over here, I don't really see that as a worthwhile chart or resistance. I could be wrong. We'll see. I also was looking into this, right? And we broke it. So I had charted this weekend. This looks like MU's new downtrend, potentially, right? Also looks really corrective. You've got two major pops to the upside, kind of giving off the double top vibe, and you got a break of that initial bounce and key level of 75.75. And if I'm just a guessing dude, I would say we're going to gap down to around 71 bucks, 70 bucks. This one's got great levels on it because they're nice and clear, right? I love that. So we've got 71.37 to the downside, and we've got 69.06 as well to the upside, right? Because we can't be too confident that we're going to be bearish. I could be wrong. So the upside, we've got 75, which is a psychological number. Guys, I didn't even look at the price, by the way. I find the level, then I look at it, I'm like, oh shit, okay, that's a psychological number. Let's go. When you signed up with TradeStation, did you agree to arbitration? Just gonna not answer that question. Oh wait, hold on. Never mind. I don't really remember, to be quite honest with you. I read that the wrong way. Yeah, I can't. I think I rejected. I'm not really entirely sure. It's been a minute. I made that trading view years ago. So anyway, there's always a chance that we bounce again. 75 should be on your docket, but those are your levels to the downside. $70 is a psychological target, so watch that one. How much in my Discord? So for 7 admins and everybody included, including Flow, Crypto, and now futures, it's 60 bucks. So and that includes me trading live, Manny trading live, Atlas trading live, Astroplay trading live, Top Shelf. Everybody's kind of pretty active in there. So how did you come up with the bottom line of the channel? So I looked at where we gapped up, and I look at like where we bounce, right? Where did we reverse the trend? Not just where did we bounce, where did the trend reverse? We see an inverse head and shoulders here on MU on the 4-hour. Beautiful textbook inverse head and shoulders on that one. So I use that next low, right? That lower low, and then I see this, right? Now this is 70, right near 75 bucks, right? So we've got this solid key level, 75 bucks even. But you also have this wick that bypasses it and hits 74.24. Something's there. So I run it off of that. Then when you drop, guess where you bounce? Just a little bit lower, 73.96. Hold up, retest, breakdown. No, loading, you're fine. I thought that was like one of those questions. So I was like, who you working for, dude? You're good. Baba. Oh, shit. You guys okay down there? You guys good down there? Bad angle. You guys good? All right. Shake it off. It'll make you tougher. Kent, you said it's addictive. Cost is well worth it. Yeah. It's addictive. We're gonna have to have like start a new section. Addiction spec. Nice shirt. It's a robe, but I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so we got MU. By the way, ultimately, below that 71.37, again $70, but the low is 65. So was it because the gap? Yeah, that's a key point. I'm gonna tell you guys that when you start charting, be intuitive. Okay, there is a lot of it that is intuitive, and then you correct yourself. And over years of, or not even years, months, weeks sometimes of correcting yourself, you'll start to feel it out. I promise. It is just let go of whatever misconceptions. We know what the patterns that we're looking for. Don't Who cares what anybody else thinks about where you're at in this process? Start with what you already know and what already gets you excited when you see it, and focus on that. Don't don't fix what's not broken, and then expand from there. Chart if even if you're wrong, be okay with being wrong and getting feedback. So that's one of the purposes of the Discord. We want you guys to be able to talk amongst yourselves and to the admins and be like, hey, what do you think of this? Is it right? Did I mess this level up? So I put you guys in the pit. Why is everybody talking about Mulan? When did trading click for you? When I did exactly what I just told you about. When I started trusting my gut, the things that I was already seeing, even though it may have been just a small window of things that I was actually seeing, it was still right. And so I focused on that. I was like, okay, I'm really good at seeing inverse head and shoulders. I like them a lot. That's my favorite pattern. I'm going to focus on that. Right? Or I really like these EMA crossovers. Different market, by the way, right? Different market. We're in a new market. Totally, I'm a different trader now than I was last year. I'm adapting. I am letting the market tell me what, or show me what adjustments I need to make in terms of taking certain risk off, et cetera, et cetera. So short it all, pal, shutting off the money printer, expect for energy and commodities. Why is my chart so red? Because this is America. No, literally, this is the American economy right now. It's a good song though. Oof. JKS. I'm trying not to skip any guys, but my eyes are having trouble focusing. So that obviously doesn't look great. Here's what I would be concerned about with Jinko Solar. What materials do they need? Where do they get them from? And who has them? And that's kind of where I see this as, I mean, I see the head and shoulders type look to it, but overall, I see a major downtrend, and I see this one. So just to keep it simple, you can still bounce. It looks like you already have, but look at this level. Like, look at the supply and demand. It's what matters. So look, boom, boom, bam, right there. I ain't never been with a Betty. I hear that song bad way too often. Goog. Do you wanna? I'll just do Goog. All right. So Google L or Google, excuse me, not Google L. So personally, and I would agree, I think some people would agree, this could be a certain something that drives us back up. The split is getting closer and closer, and I think the closer that we get, the more likely we are to break ranks. But at the moment, you did just receive a double top, and you do have a gap to fill. And so, with that being said, I think that below 2600 and 2590, that you're probably going to go fill that gap, and you're probably going to go hit 2545, more than likely 2525. From there, you can see a agreed upon support, and that's 2495. So ultimately, looking at the double top, looking at the rejection, my PT is 49 or 2494. Sorry, just like disassociated. I just like zoned out for a second. AGERI. AGERI. Kind of look at Pepsi. Yeah, that's a big bear flag. You have almost all of that candle engulfed. Not all of it, but most of it. You saw sellers took it all the way down to 3. I'd be looking for this one to lose 295, below 295. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know who they are, but they're going down. So I would say 265, somewhere in there. The semis hit hard because of potential indirect sanctions that will affect her. Absolutely. Yeah, sanctions are hurting overall worldwide. Thoughts on CLX for a longer swing? This one is one that I meant to short, like actually like hold a long short on, and I never did it when it finally started reclaiming it. This one kind of went up with COVID a lot, as you guys can go back and track. I believe somewhere back here. COVID hit. And this one went to all-time highs. Currently on a really strong downtrend, breaking off the pivot point. Looks like you actually cleared S1. Look to retest that. Now, I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but looking at your main supports, right? Go for it. So clearly, that's a level, right? Go back, double check ourselves. It's 124.72. $114 appears to be another level. So I would say that Clorox inevitably has obviously 130, 129, right where it's at. You are likely going to retest at some point the 140 level. Sorry guys, my lungs are kind of burning a little bit. 140, 140, 41. But other than that, I'm seeing this one 124.72, and pretty much 114. I mean, maybe I'm alone in this, but I don't know. They kind of, and again, sanctions could hurt them as well, but they ripped during COVID, and it drove them up big time. But I still, in my opinion, I still think they might have a support or two to hit. Now, I will say, the reason we have retest is exactly what they are. They're retesting. So if it passed the test and it breaks back above 140, well, now let's start looking long for 161 retest. So can I explain? Yeah. So yellow is selling and blue is buying, and so it kind of shows you the strength of each member on each level. So
I know you guys. I know the music in my background is probably not helping. Tesla, really easy, guys. This one, this is its resistance. Everybody was talking about some kind of bull flag. I don't know. Um, I have this one 780. I also have a support, guys. I have Tesla potentially going down to like $700, like another $100 drop, and I have it going to the supply level of 690. So that's my personal level on Tesla. Being generous, obviously you're gonna want to see a bounce around 770. But again, 750 is another key level to watch out for. Watch for a couple gap fills, but you've been sitting up on top of this resistance and not making any or gaining any ground at the moment. So do I use level 2? Yes. Not all the time. All right. IMMP. I'm new as a day trader. How much time do you spend on fundamental analysis and TA? So here's what you need to know. You need to know what the stock is, what sector they're in, what they're doing, their rep, like what's their reputation. Either you know it or you don't. Um, it is the more you do, the better, right? So if you just get it all done, if you're interested in AMD and you trade it a lot, if you like the way a certain stock trades first, and that's just how you got into it, go look. Go look at it because it's going to help. Hold on. Yes, I would short this if I obviously wanted to. But yeah, it does look short. Um, so anyway, to elaborate further on that, fundamental analysis, I need to know why it's moving, what it's relevant to, and whether or not it's going to actually be a sustainable move. Earnings, acquisitions, um, offerings, whatever, price upgrades, price downgrades, how does it respond? That's what I'm looking for. So I spend, I would say a good solid, I would say a good solid 30 to 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours, depending on what the company is, what they do. And I'm looking at the fundamentals. Who runs it? What's the rep? Have they had any bad, or I just go read what other people have written, right? Does this person have a lot of articles written about them? Okay, that's probably not good, right? Good example, GRWG. Okay, at one time, you could have considered me a long-term investor in GRWG. I bought GRWG for the first time, I think at $11. That stock went to 70 in a year, in months. Less than that, I think. And God, I should have taken a put on it. Look, 67.78. I bought it on earnings, $11. So I actually bought right there. I caught the second candle retracement. Thing ripped. We got hit with a Hindenburg report, dumped back down. When they got hit with the Hindenburg report, I had already gone over what these people were doing. And I knew that the Hindenburg report would hurt, but it couldn't stop it because at the end of the day, the cannabis sector was doing okay, right? This stock was getting a lot of attention from everybody, price art upgrades and downgrades from everybody.
And it just made for a really amazing stock to trade. It was amazing uptrend. And but it also was a sketchy crew of people running it. The guy, the CEO, has been involved with a lot of people who are conmen and have started legitimate pump and dumps. Do I think that these guys are passionate about cannabis? Absolutely not. Um, but I do know that they're making a bag, and the numbers don't lie, and that's at least as long as they write them correctly. And if not, then obviously, what did I use to search info on GRWG? So you can use TradingView. You can go over the financials on TradingView for GRWG. You can pretty much do anything you want. Um, Benzinga Pro has a really good one as well too. I like theirs. Kind of breaks down everything. Um, but you want to know what they do. You want to know how well they do it. Read a couple articles, skim over the top and get the consensus from the people who do look at a little bit deeper. And then if you need to, go deeper into the financials or whatever the case is. But, GRWG was one where I had to check myself multiple times because I was like, I don't know, this is going to suck. It's going to suck because, like, I think this stock could rip and go into the 30s, which was my price target at the point. But obviously it went a little bit further. What is considered too high IB and how does it affect my contract? I mean, uh, 200% is usually a little bit testy for me. So, and it affects the contract because if the person who did that or the people who did that uh, sell, they're essentially rug pulling you. So, um, yeah, no problem. Did nickel pump? Yeah, we've seen nickel move. Why does IV go up sometimes when stock is going down, but premium value going up? Loving these questions, guys. So if the IV goes up, and the stock is going down, probably because it has an event or people are anticipating the bounce. Sometimes as it falls, people see a bounce level and they start buying it before it does. I think Chinese stocks like Bob and Neo aren't going to see any strength until there's some confidence. Yeah. So Carlos, I think that thanks for bringing that up. That's a clear print of like understanding sentiment. Is it safe? Well, I don't buy Chinese stocks. Period. But no, I don't do the percentages. Uh, Hold on one second. Um, so with those stocks, if you ask yourself the simple question, why should I buy right now? What is a good reason to buy these stocks? They're on sale. Okay, great. Could they go lower? Yes. Why? Ask yourself the same question going up, right? Could they go lower? Yes. Why? China is kind of being an asshole. We are too, but they're doing sneaky stuff. I think there's some tensions rising. They're kind of playing the middle ground, which sometimes kind of scares me even worse. Regardless, oh, I got through most of the night. Now it's starting to hit me. I think Chinese suck. But understanding there is no real reason for them to go up, right? So if there's no reason for them to go up, or we're struggling sentiment because of the sentiment due to the conflict going on right now, then there's nothing left to do but to find the play that coincides with that. So, all right, guys, put me on, gang. Hey, honey bunny. Oof, what are you talking about? All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Getting sleepy. Hopefully, I got your questions answered. I will see you guys Monday morning. Tomorrow morning, bright and early. 8:30 Eastern time, always AM. The government took an hour of sleep away from us. Want it back. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Father, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that. Can I clear up a little bit about IB crush as an option, how to spot it or avoid it? Yes, really quickly. Usually on the chart, it will say IB and then a percentage. If it's up at 250, 300%, you need to figure out why. Why is it moving up? Why are people betting on it so hard? When you see that, you need to understand that if it opens up flat or a big move doesn't happen, which is essentially what it means, is implied volatility, where there's a lot of people thinking it's going to go, right? So if everybody leaves, and that's what drove up the contract in the first place, right? Then when that dissipates, so does your money. So spotting it is knowing when you have certain events coming forward and staying either outside of that range or so that way you can kind of climb into it or but yeah, just you should be able to spot that. I'll go over that a little bit more tomorrow morning if you have any other questions. But anyway, you guys have a good night. I'm gonna go take some medicine and get some sleep. But peace out. I'll be registered in Discord in the morning. All right, make sure to say hi. If you guys are new in the Discord tomorrow morning, make sure to say hello in the live trading chat. Make sure to go to the map. Now, I will be putting out a new video. The whole Discord is a little bit different. I will put a video out, so it's okay. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but if you need a guide or something, let me know. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys' presence, and I'll see you guys bright and early. Peace. Peace out.